How are you doing? How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I cheers you with my cup of coffee.
Hello and welcome to Coffee Time with Griha, Sarah. And I love
Thank
that.
you.
And I think that you are a coffee person because I see a lot of your posts that are to do with coffee, your second cup of coffee, even Dalgona coffee.
I'm a huge coffee person. In fact, just now before this interview, I was telling my sister I was trying to bully her into making me a cup of Dalgona because I was not like, I don't want to be beating coffee. I'm trying to like quickly, before we could get onto this call, trying to find quick ways of making Dalgona coffee. So if anyone has any tips of how to make it really quickly, please let me know.
We have food blogger over here. I'm sure they are going to share some tips.
Oh, do you? Okay, fine. I was seriously contemplating putting everything into a tiny jar and shaking it up really quickly. That might work. Like it might. I have no idea.
That'll be like a cold sort of a cold brew, cold coffee for you. But certainly not Dalgona because it needs a lot of froth. Yeah, it's too much of mehnat. I tried it once.
Dude,
it's too much.
I had like my arm was hurting by the time I got done beating that coffee.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, it's a bit.
But which is your favorite?
Anyway.
I mean, what's your go-to coffee? I mean, since we're talking about coffee and it is coffee time with Griha, why not we begin and talk about your go-to coffee? What are you actually doing, indulging in while in quarantine? Kinds of coffee that you probably will get your hands at.
I have a really cute mocha pot from someone just said Dalgona is overrated. Rishabh, I'm really sorry, but I don't agree with you. But I don't think it's. I tasted it for the first time and I was like, I had a next one the very next day. But anyway,
you know,
so my
even
favorite
I
coffee
also No, even I thought so because I never used to like cold coffees. I used to think that it's the worst form of coffee. But when I tried Dalgona, I was like, okay, it's quite cool. And plus, it's beaten coffee and other versions. It's nice.
Yeah, I think what I enjoy about it is that I enjoy that it's really hot outside, and I enjoy that it's got this like creamy texture, which kind of tastes almost like a coffee ice cream. And that's what I really enjoy about it. But so in terms of my coffee, I usually take my coffee either with almond milk or black. And it for me, it's all about where the coffee grinds come from. So I like a dark roast, so medium dark or a dark roast. And currently what's in my cup is something that's an Indian bean. It's from Koinonia. I love most of the Indian coffees that you get, especially the coffee bean and the grinds that you get from Araku, which is in the southern part of the country. I'm a big Araku coffee fan. So so it's usually quite simple. I have a cute little stovetop mocha pot from Italy, which makes little espresso shots. And that's
I'm loving this conversation. This is like so much. I'm getting this sisterly sort of virtual hug that I want to give you. You know your coffee so well. I'm very glad that I can totally relate with whatever you're saying right now. I know my beans. I want to have it in the perfect. I need to understand what coffee am I drinking, and there's only certain things that I'd associate with.
What's your favorite? How do you like it roasted?
I like a dark roast. I totally love a dark roast. And, in the evenings, in the morning, I need my beaten coffee. But evenings, I would make do with my black coffee. I'll brew it separately. I have a coffee maker, so I'll brew it like that. I have it like a tinge of milk, not much. And which is almost black. So I like it like that. I love it like that without any sugar or jaggery. Anything.
So my recommendation for you is it's a grind, a coffee ground from Dorai Canal. That's available at Koinonia. I'm pretty sure you can buy it online as well. I think Zomato and stuff is still delivering. So Dorai Canal really is what is in my cup right now.
I'll make a note and I'll definitely go and buy it. Thank you so much for the reco. My first question: Do you know what day of the week it is today? Do you remember?
Yes, it is Saturday.
Really?
And the only reason I know it's Saturday is because I work out with my trainer Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I know that I trained myself today. That's how I know that it's Saturday.
Okay, but otherwise, how is the quarantine going for you? I mean, obviously we are all social distancing. Everybody is at home. What is it like for you? How many people are there? Are you staying alone? You're staying with family? What is it like?
To be really honest with you, it's not been someone. I'm really sorry. I have to read out this comment. Someone said, "Please try coffee with cannabis."
Okay.
It's not. It's not that kind of show, by the way. It's really not that kind of show. Anyway,
I love the
so how
comments
have I been
coming in.
handling it? Yeah, comments are hilarious sometimes.
Yeah.
I someday we should do an entire show just based on the hilarious comments that I get on my pictures.
I would love to
ridiculous.
ask you that. I'd love to ask you that. Why don't we ask you about, I mean, today, the latest post that you posted, the kind of comments that you got, or anything that comes to your mind?
I'll have to like close the screen, but like the other day I posted this picture of me doing this, and I got so many people talking about my armpits that I got uncomfortable. I mean, it's just like usually after I post, I don't read that many comments. Like I might read it the same day, but like it was so funny that my friends in the UK started circling the comments and screenshotting them to me. And like people are like, somebody was like, I wanna lick your armpits. I was like,
oh yuck.
Why? Why? I mean, I smell good, but like, why? In God's name. But anyway, coming back to what you were asking me, how has it been? So I live with my mom and my sister, and it's been okay. I think that we, initially it was a bit hard to digest what was going on, and obviously I go out a lot, and a lot of my lifestyle is depending on going out. My sister has a 9 to 5 job. So it's a bit difficult to adjust. But I think that we are very much routine people in general, like everybody in my family. So once the routine kind of got set in, it's kind of stayed. So usually I'll wake up, I'll go up to my terrace to get some vitamin D. And I come back down, I eat my morning breakfast, which is usually just a whole lot of fruit. Then I work out, then I do some reading. And then I sit in my office, which is what you're looking at right now, which is like the foot of my bed. And usually my laptop is over here, and I've got all my color pencils and my crayons and stuff, because I usually like to like color and doodle and stuff while I'm working. And then I've taken a whole bunch of online classes. And by the time the evening comes, there's always some jhadu, katka, pocha, something needs to be done. Some dishes need to be washed, or some cooking needs to be done. The deal in my house is that my mom usually cooks once every second day. She'll cook like lunch, and then my sister and I will cook dinner. So that's on rotation.
That's your
right
alternate.
now.
Yeah.
I am not ashamed to say that I tried to make some cake the other day, and because we were trying to, I think everyone's doing this right now. You're trying to make do with stuff that's in your pantry. So I didn't have saltless, what's it called? Plain butter. I basically had salted butter. I didn't have unsalted butter. So I put salted butter in the cake, and then I didn't add enough sugar. So what I got was a dark chocolate salty bitter cake, which was not so bad because a lot of dark chocolate has salt in it. But
and we do have cookies which have salt and sugar in it, so it's good.
So I ate it. I ate it anyway because I'm a howrat and I will eat anything. But my mom was really sweet. She looked at it, she took a bite, and she's like, "It's nice."
She's appreciated, so that you don't stop doing it. You have to. I mean, she has to keep encouraging. What if you say, "Okay, fine, mere se to nahi ho raha, I would not do it later."
Yeah. Well, anyway.
We're getting some comments here.
Amir Beg just said, "You, my ex looks like you, Sarah." I was like, "That's hilarious."
Okay, and somebody is asking what online. Rishabh Bardhan is asking you which online classes are you taking, and
so I took. I love Masterclass. You know the website Masterclass. So I love Masterclass, and I want to answer this question also. Ankita Bhushan wants to know what I'm reading. I'll come right back to you, Ankita. I took a class on neuroplasticity on edX. I took another class on creative entrepreneurship, which was with Sarah Blakely, which was on Masterclass. Then I did the Anna Winter course on leadership on Masterclass, and I'm right now doing the Howard Schultz of Starbucks. I'm doing his leadership course, and I also did a Kelly Wersler course on interior design. I love them because they're all short format, and they get to. I feel like you get to explore so many of your interests through them, and then sort of get little bits and bobs of information, which really do come handy in day-to-day life if you are interested in them. And it's a great way to spend time right now. I love learning. Siddiqui Kashif is asking what's a masterclass. Masterclass is a website that basically offers classes. It's just called
that's my
masterclass.
husband. He's asking. He wants to know about that. Kashif Siddiqui, yes. Kashif, I hope you got your answer there. What's the masterclass?
Where is he? Is he not in the same house as you?
Of course he is, but I will not allow him to come to my live. Yeah? Why should he come and steal my thunder? He's in the other room.
That's hilarious. Now you have wherever he is, if you're listening, I really want you to come into the room and say hi to me. Now I want to see his face. Now I have to see his face. Now if he's listening, wherever he is, Kashif, you have to like come and say hi to me. So someone has asked what I was reading.
Yeah, Ankita asked you what you were reading. Yeah.
So I'm reading right now. I always read a bunch of things. So I'm reading a graphic novel called Monstrous by by Marjorie Liu actually, and Sana Takeda did the art. It's stunning. I'm reading The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. It's fantasy, and it was written in the 60s, I think. It's a 9-part series book. I'm just on book 1 because I just started it, and I'm reading Becoming by Michelle Obama.
Right.
Nice. And I'm also reading. I'm finishing up this book called the Phoenix Empress, which is part 2 of a queer fantasy book. It's really amazing.
So Sarah, what I'm getting out of this conversation is that you like to have your hands in a lot of things at a time, and you can concentrate on each one of them while you're at it, because you're doing a lot of things, be it your classes or the reading bit. Because I would be stuck with one book at a time, because I think that I'd not be able to do justice to the other one if I start reading the other one simultaneously. But things are different with you.
It's very different. I'm very good at multitasking. So it's easy for me to dedicate like 20 minutes to something, and then another half an hour to something else, another 1 hour somewhere else, and really be completely present in, because it's just how my brain works. Right. Initially, I used to be really worried because I thought that I couldn't concentrate on one thing for too long, but then, just through working with it. So if someone has read all and will suggest strongly you read Habibi by Craig Thompson. Thank you. I'm totally going to look into that.
Okay, that's Nishwan. Nishwan is in India today. We were together in the same office. He's very good with his stuff. So
nice.
That's okay. Abhishek is asking you, do you reco for South Indian
filter coffee and a press? So South Indian filter coffee beans are basically just there's this really cute, Hatti Kappi, right? They're at I don't know. So Hatti Kappi has beans. So it's HATTIKAPPI. They're at all airports, especially Bangalore. Yes. It's like one of, I don't know who asked that question, but it's amazing. It's like my most favorite thing to do. Okay, so Abhishek, if you ever, I think he said he's in the US, but if you have anybody going through Bangalore, I don't know when that's going to happen. You basically get filter coffee beans at Hatti Kappi, and they're really, really good beans.
They are actually very nice. I mean, every time I step into and land in Bangalore, that's the first thing that I have. I mean, coffee from there and then head out, because the airport is far, far away from the main city. So
exactly. I have to stop, and even though I don't usually drink milk, I'll make that one exception for that day.
Yeah. And a little bit of sugar too. That sugar can be avoided, but that's a little sugary.
Yeah, but like a kappi, like Hatti Kappi is not like complete without like South Indian filter coffee needs that little bit of sugar and it for you to feel like
So Sarah, I can see that bed of yours quite immaculately made up. You call this as your workplace. Are you quite a clean freak?
It's like my dream come true.
You've stacked the pillows like very immaculately. I can see that there is.
Also, I don't know if you can see that little. Can you see that little stag that's hanging on the wall?
Yes, I can.
In the center.
So
I'm the reason I watched interior design is also because I have a affinity for it, and I actually hung that up on an invisible thread from the light fixture. And I hung it up for Christmas, but I really loved it because it's actually made of gold glitter and looks really pretty in the night. And that's my moon lamp. I love it.
Yeah, I can see that.
I got gifted that for Christmas. And on the other side over there in the corner, you can't see it behind, but it's a map of the New York Underground, which is the print of the
Oh, wow, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Okay, the pillow in the center. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Where did you find that gem from? My God, that's amazing.
I have I have matching bed sheets as well, so it's really funny. I used to get it and be like, I'd never get lost in New York. But yeah. Anyway, someone said something quite interesting. How do you keep up the motivation, Sarah, given that monotony sets in a time like this?
This is Paul
Is it okay if
George.
if I
Yes,
take
please.
that
Of course,
question?
of course.
Coach, I feel that what you need to really understand and accept is that I'm not motivated all the time, and neither is anybody. Even the most motivated people aren't motivated all the time. I think you just need to accept the times that you're not motivated. And it's really interesting. Just earlier today, I was watching this. There's so many questions coming in. Just earlier today, I was watching this video on procrastination and the different kinds of procrastinators. And I think that, my sister walked in and she was like, why are you watching something on procrastination? I was like, yeah. She's like, I think all of us procrastinate in some way or shape or form. And I think that it's a matter of sort of just doing little things to motivate yourself. So for example, like if you're feeling really demotivated, one of the things that I will do is let's say I'm trying to read something that I've been putting off for a really long time. I will just sit literally and I'll just put the book on my lap. That's all I'll do. Like for the first 5-10 minutes, I'll just put the book on my lap. And then the human brain is a really curious thing. You're bound to open it and you're bound to want to read the first few words. And then you kind of you just do it for 5 minutes, then you do it for 10 minutes, and you do it for 15 minutes, and then the habit kind of builds. And I think the most important thing about being motivated is to really find what you love to do. You really need to there's no point in, because I feel like in a time like this, everybody's like, oh, do this, oh, do that, oh, let's do a live about this, oh, let's talk about that. And there's so much this self-help that's going on that I think people are actually feeling pressure to do things. And I just want to tell everybody out there that it's okay if you're not doing anything. And that if you wake up and you eat something and you take a nap and then you wake up and read a little and then you go back to sleep again, you do some work, or it's really not that important to be constantly doing things. In fact, I'm the opposite. I have to physically impose breaks and be like, okay, don't do anything for the next half an hour. Don't touch your phone for the next half an hour. One of my biggest advices to people actually at a time like this is, or in general in life, not just at a time like this, is to, I call it the phone detox trick, which is basically not to pick up your phone first thing in the morning as soon as you wake up, and not to touch your phone
Ask me about it.
before you go to bed.
My husband keeps it away. That I've hidden your phone so that's not the first thing that you grab at the moment you get up.
Yeah. I don't. I just don't. And the thing is, you start a lot of people are like, oh my God, how can you do that? It's so difficult. But the thing is, you take baby steps, and the brain is very smart and very capable of just connecting the dots. The more you do it, and the better you feel. And then you sort of maybe give yourself a little reward after that. So initially what I started doing is, I really like the smell of lavender. It's honestly, it's like training a dog. So I really like the smell of lavender, right? So I would put my phone away and I would smell lavender. I would smell the, I have this incense bottle, I would just smell it. And then I'd go to sleep. The next day I did it again, the next day I did it again. It got to a point where the minute I would smell the lavender, I swear to you, I didn't feel like touching my phone.
Really?
Because it became an association with something that I really, really love. Or for example, you can put your phone away and go and have a warm bath. Or you can put your phone away and soak your feet in hot water and salt. Or you can put your phone away and make yourself a cup of tea. Anything that makes you feel good. You kind of break the association with it being your phone and something else, and then the more you do it, the easier it becomes. I'm sorry, I've gone off on a tangent.
No, of course not. And Sarah, what I like about your, let's talk about your Instagram handle. You call yourself an wellness explorer. I like how you put it, because you are not, and the way you are actually presenting your thoughts also, it's not like you have a set way, or probably you borrowed certain ideas and you're just going about them in a herd sort of mentality. That's not what it is. I think you're probably exploring in your own way what you like, and you are inculcating. What is it like for you? I mean, the fact that you call yourself that, how do you associate what you're doing in your life? And
I actually call myself a wellness warrior and a wellness explorer. And I also, we have to answer this question, by the way. Amir Beg has asked what my experience is in Araku coffee. So I'd love to talk about that.
Oh yes,
I feel very passionately, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why as well.
Yes.
But coming back to the whole wellness aspect of things, I think that the whole point about feeling well is to find what works for you uniquely, because what works for me will not work for you, and vice versa. And I feel that on my journey of wellness, there have been many times when initially I started, I was doing the herd mentality stuff, and I was going with, what was trendy or what people said would work for me. And some things did. Like, for example, yoga is something that is acclaimed across the world. And I did follow the herd mentality because everybody was practicing yoga at the time, and I started practicing yoga. I even got certified. Okay. But what didn't work for me was certain asanas, because like on certain days I would find that doing breath work would make me feel more excitable than more calm, certain breath works. So I had to like really tailor the yoga asanas and the yoga breath work to suit me. And I think everybody needs to do that in life in general, right? Like, I mean, like you just started this conversation asking me how I like my coffee. It's the same thing with wellness. It's like, how do you like your workouts? How do you like your yoga? Right. And it's gone are the days when, and this is one of the reasons I like Ayurveda as well, because medication is carefully tailored for you. It's not as though if you have a headache and I have a headache, the Ayurvedic doctor will give you the same thing and give me the same thing, right? Because how can you? You're unique, right. I'm unique. My body and my mind works very differently. Your body and your mind works very differently. So you really need to just find what it is that works for you and let go of the things that don't work for you. I mean, it's not like you're going to walk into a coffee shop and say, I don't want a latte, I don't want a cappuccino, I don't want a tea. You're just going to walk in and say what you want, right? And that what you want is individualistic to you. So it's very important for you to treat your physical and mental wellness the same way. So that's why I have such a vast number of things that I do in order to feel well, and that's why I'm constantly exploring as well, because it has to be a constantly evolving process. I mean, look at what we're in right now. Someone just said, show me your armpits.
Yeah, Anurag Datta, we need to call you out because exactly. I mean,
they're hairy. Would you like to see them? They're hairy.
Happy? Are you happy?
Yeah. There you go.
I don't know what is the kick.
Sorry, but anyway,
that was our kick. Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's maybe looking at people's armpits make him feel well, I don't know.
Yeah, that's his wellness exploration.
To each their own. To each their own. Yeah.
And you wanted to speak about Araku coffee, so.
Oh my God. So I did this documentary for Araku Coffee for National Geographic, and it was one of the most rewarding and special experiences of my life. Araku Coffee, which is the establishment is run by the Nandi Foundation, and the coffee production in itself took about 180 farming families who would have probably gone destitute, and took them from making 20,000 rupees a year to about 80,000 to a lakh rupees per year, and gave them a sense of livelihood, gave them a means of livelihood, and also empowered all the women in the villages to learn how to make their own money by teaching them how the coffee is grown, farmed, etc., etc. Not only did they do good for the people in the villages, they gave the land which belonged to the farmers back to them, and taught them how to use their own land. Plus, they grew 5 to 10 million trees and sequestered 20 billion tons of carbon dioxide. And it's one of the largest fair trade organic plantations in Asia. So it was just really incredible. Somebody asked me about Araku coffee. It was just really incredible. And I promise you, one cup of that coffee, Griha, it's like, you know that feeling when you have your first cup of coffee and everything's like, wow. The Araku coffee just like, it gives you this I don't want to say high because a lot of people like misconstrue that word.
Yeah, I think it's more of a calm that you feel when you have the perfect cup of coffee. I mean, that's another feeling. You can't really describe it in words. That's something about, sitting, procrastinating on your bed and having that perfect cup, maybe in your balcony, and you just want to be there in that happy place.
Yeah. So this cup of coffee does that and much more. Like, it just takes you to a place, and unlike things that will take you there and then drop you down, this is kind of like it stays there, and it just sort of very gently peters off. It's beautiful. It's really a beautiful cup of coffee. So, and I went to Araku Valley as well. Someone just asked, have you ever been to Araku? I went to Araku Valley and I stayed there for 10 days, and I took my mom and my dad with me, and it was absolutely beautiful. So, yeah.
And a lot of people are asking about your work, Sarah. So we'll take some questions. I think someone asked you about Angry Indian Goddesses and the fact that the film quoted a lot of controversy. And I have to link, that content to the content that's being served to us now. You have got so much of good content, especially on OTT platforms, that, filmmakers, especially, if we talk about subjects like Angry Indian Goddesses, I think we have that question. Amir Beg asked you, when can we expect a season? Okay, he wanted a season 2 of that. So, do you think it has got a little more that acceptability factor? And once you are, away from the censorship and the censor board, you have more independence to do, content like that, which probably was not the case back then when Angry Indian Goddesses was coming in.
Yeah, definitely. It was a deep sense of frustration for me because they tried to ban the film initially. And then there was a lot of objection over things that, honestly speaking, when I look back now, and even at the time, I really couldn't figure out why they were objecting. There was a lot of things that attracted controversy, which today have become commonplace.
Yes.
So it's just... I really don't know why there was such a big hue and cry that was made about certain things in the film, especially we're talking about sort of gay and lesbian conversations, which again, like I said, have become commonplace. I think we took a landslide decision by getting rid of the section 377, and I don't know. It was a challenging time for us, honestly speaking. But I think that what's beautiful, even though yes, it was a challenging time, and that was our story at that time. I think that now moving into where we are, which is with web series and not having censorship as an issue, so to speak. I think that let me also just say one thing before I say that. I think that when you're making things that aren't censored, I think it's always nice for people to be sensitive towards the younger generation.
It has got a little more that acceptability factor, and once you are away from the censorship and the censor board, you have more independence to do content like that, which probably was not the case back then when Angry Indian Goddesses was coming in.
Yeah, definitely. It was a deep sense of frustration for me because they tried to ban the film initially. And then there was a lot of objection over things that, honestly speaking, when I look back now, and even at the time, I really couldn't figure out why they were objecting. There was a lot of things that attracted controversy, which today have become commonplace.
Yes.
So it's just... I really don't know why there was such a big hue and cry that was made about certain things in the film, especially we're talking about sort of gay and lesbian conversations, which again, like I said, have become commonplace. I think we took a landslide decision by getting rid of the section 377, and I don't know. It was a challenging time for us, honestly speaking. But I think that what's beautiful, even though yes, it was a challenging time, and that was our story at that time. I think that now moving into where we are, which is with web series and not having censorship as an issue, so to speak. I think that let me also just say one thing before I say that. I think that when you're making things that aren't censored, I think it's always nice for people to be sensitive towards the younger generation, because I don't believe that kids should be watching certain things, but I think that that's something that parents themselves should control, or whoever it is who's living in the homes, or there should be some means of filtering that kind of content, because I think there are certain sexual content and violence that kids shouldn't be allowed to be seen, for a certain age. I mean, I was brought up like that, and I think that I was exposed at the right time. But moving on from that, I think that also having web as an expression has really allowed for so many things. For example, I said this the other day in an interview, all my actor friends have jobs. I'm so happy, otherwise there are so many of my actor friends who didn't have work. I'm so happy everybody's got jobs. I'm so happy everybody's working and everybody's busy. And I'm also so happy that there are so many of my writer friends who are getting to write things and see them become reality, which they've never had an opportunity to have before. So I think that while I'm curious to see where it's going to go, because at the alarming rate that people are producing content, like, I mean, I get calls for web series that are like, oh, we're shooting tomorrow. I'm like, what? What do you mean? And like people have and they're releasing full shows at one time. Like I remember Inside Edge, we shot for, I think we must have shot for about 6 months. I shot for not 6 months, but they must have shot for 6 months, of course. And people consumed it in a day, and it's just gone.
Right.
So I just I'm curious to know how this industry is going to evolve. Hey, I want to say hi to, sorry, just a second. Mohindra Pal, because I don't know how to pronounce his first name, but Mohindra Pal. Mr. Mohindra Pal always leaves the most sweetest messages on all my pictures. So hello, sir. How are you?
How nice.
Anyway, he's damn sweet. But anyway, so I was just saying, so I'm excited, and it's a great platform, and I feel that people are consuming content very quickly. I don't binge watch. I can't remember the last time I binge watched anything. I must have binge watched just 1 or 2 shows. I prefer to leave the suspense, and I'm capable of, like, as you know, I'm a multitasker, so I can watch one thing and then be like, okay, it's done. I can wait. But most people I know, like, I guess maybe it's a good thing, because everybody's senses are so heightened and creativity is so heightened. But yeah.
And what about, on the other, so you have a film with Saif, I believe, that's coming up. We don't know till the lockdown extends, and, when is the release and everything, and even shooting new things is concerned is going to happen. But what else is happening on the work front once we all get back and get out of houses, once the coronavirus scare is off?
Well, it's a web series that I did with Saif. It's for Amazon. I'm super excited. It was due to release. Sorry, just really sweet things people are saying. It was due to release in the second half of this year anyway. So hopefully by then things will get back to normal. I'm beyond excited about it. Like I can't even.
That we are talking
I can't
about.
even tell you. Yeah, exactly. That's the working title. They haven't given it a name yet. But I'm beyond excited about it. I can't wait for it to come out. And besides that, I've done a couple of auditions just before the lockdown sort of came into play, and I got shortlisted for a couple of the roles, and now I've just been told that I've been finalized for a couple of the roles, and that is 1 film and 1 web series. So, but I can't really tell you much more about that. But hopefully,
and from all these comments that I see, I think people are not able to get over the character Priya that you played in your Tamil film. That's close to everyone's heart. I'm seeing Priya everywhere.
It's ridiculous. Hi, Danesh. I did this film called Tira the Veliyata Pillai, which is a Tamil film, and I played this character Priya. It was my first film in the South industry, and I promise you, I've traveled all over the world, and people have come to me all over the world, literally, and been like, I remember you in that film and you were so good, and are you Priya? Are you Sarah? Did you play Priya and Tira the Veliyata Pillai? I'm like, yeah, I did. So yeah, it's apparently touched people's hearts.
And people who follow you, who know you, also know about your singing prowess. That's something that I actually get quite fascinated with, because I've seen your posts. I remember this show where you and your friends, when you guys were actually part of Channel B, I believe, I saw you sing that Nelly Furtado number, where I was like, oh my God, this girl can sing so beautifully. I mean, I remember it back then, and now I've been following your posts also. I saw a Stevie Wonder number, that cover that you actually sang. Something that you can have for your fans here. It'd be really great to have you sing.
Sure. Mohindrapal has a song request. What is your song request, sir? I don't really know if I'll be able to sing it. But I, you know, I could sing. What is that song has come? Stand By Me.
Okay.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light you see, no, I won't be afraid. No, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Whoa, stand by me, just as long as you stand by me.
Wow, that's beautiful. On clap, and I guess people are clapping here also. That's brilliant. That's amazing. How did you actually take to singing? That's something that you always wanted to. I mean, that's there. I mean, it just naturally a natural sort of go-to for you. Or what is it like?
It's one of those things that, you know, God's been kind and gifted me with. I've always loved singing. I've loved singing since I was a little girl. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mohindrapal ji. And I just enjoyed it, and I just continued. I did a vocal training course as well at some point, because it was something that made me very happy. And yeah, it just, you know, especially at times like this, when you're kind of like, I was telling you, you don't have to constantly be motivated. You just have to figure out what works for you. Sometimes I'll just sit with my cup of coffee and just sing, you know, and it just makes me feel so happy. So
are you missing your gigs and covers that you used to be part of before the lockdown?
Man, I can't even tell you, because I love singing rock. Like, I love singing big songs, like big rock songs, and I like have a 5-piece band. And I just miss it so much. But yeah, it is what it is.
Also, the fact that while in the lockdown, people have a lot to do and yet nothing to do. A lot of people are complaining about boredom. A lot of people are only binge watching content and doing nothing constructive. And a lot of people are giving challenges to one another. So why not actually we also dive in, herd mentality, and probably
oh God, okay.
I just saw something online today, even on Twitter and Instagram. People are actually posting their 20-year-old picture. I mean, when they were 20, or probably when they were doc looking or something, they're posting weird pictures of them. I just posted one.
I don't have a picture of me when I'm 20, but like over here sitting by my bedside, I have a picture of me when I was a little girl, like little.
Okay.
Do you want to see it?
Like, can you?
It's like little. It's like my. I think it's one of my first
photo shoot. Wow.
It's my first swimsuit photo shoot.
Wow.
Yeah. And then on the other side, I have me on my first day of school.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, lovely. You were quite a studious kid.
You know, I was just going to say, I was such a nerd. I was such a dork. Look at how happy I am. Who looks this happy going to school for the first day? Can you please tell me? Like, who? I'm just like, I was so happy with my books and my bag and my new pencils and my but I'm still the same kid, by the way. I'm still exactly the same kid. Like, I love my stationery and my books and my OCD and, you know,
But it's been amazing, Sarah. I mean, amazing getting here. The fact that I am getting to know so much about you and so many different facets of this one single person that not many know about as yet. I mean, people just know of you from what they see on camera, even through your posts. but I think they would get to see a completely different and too many sides to you, especially in this time, which is really amazing. And I can see from the comments that we are getting, that's something that people actually would want to binge onto and know more about their favorite stars. So that's really nice to have you actually.
Sarah. I'm glad that I'm also quite pleased with the kind of comments we've been getting. They've been quite like real and sweet, and please, hi video, please, my name Vimal. Hi Vimal. But yeah, Salman flirted with Sarah. Yes, he did flirt with me.
I've been getting this comment like right at he's written it so many times. Raman Jot.
He's desperately trying to get our attention.
Yeah. Anyway, so since I was on challenges and I just saw this one post of yours where you were actually fiddling around with makeup. And why don't I challenge you? Because people are into a lot winging their liners and, doing something crazy with their makeup regime. Can you wing a liner, but without looking into the mirror, just looking into this camera and doing it like in a minute? A minute is too long. 30 seconds.
A minute? What?
Just okay,
so I've got my liner pen with me.
Yeah. Yes.
This is going to be really, really hard. I don't even know how. I can't even. Okay, wait. I can't see. Okay, this is hilarious. Like my nose is going to be up the camera. Okay. Here we go. I can't.
Oh, Sarah, that's actually a perfect wing you're achieving. I don't want to jinx it. You don't want to jinx it. Okay,
almost.
Yes.
I'll do it only on one eye, okay? Then I'm going to have one eye done and one eye not done. This is like my very thick wing liner.
Oh, that's nice. Quite nice, yeah? I'm so bad at liners.
I'm doing this. I have a really steady hand, okay? Happy wing.
Oh, wow. Sarah's winged it.
I winged it only on one side. It is kind of like, it's not even a wing. It's like a little blotch.
It's lovely. Any song that comes to your mind before we go, while you winged your liner, I want you to sing one last song for us and then we can say bye-bye to all the people.
With my one eye wing liner. Okay. The things is, you owe me a cup of coffee for all of this. I will sing. Do you have any favorite songs, English? Someone's asking me to sing lyrics of the Tamil song. Unfortunately, I don't know the Tamil song. Sorry.
Anything that's your favorite. Something that is
request.
In your head.
Someone's asking me to relive the moment of winning Femina Miss India. Listen, buddy, I'll start crying. Okay, it's not that kind of a show. We're not going to cry. But I'll just sing one line. I'm like a bird on a fly away. I don't know where my home is. I don't know where my home is. But I'm in my home right now, so.
Oh, that's brilliant. And I like how I can hear the birds. It's so amazing that nature is healing itself while we all are in the lockdown. Yeah. Even in the voice notes that you've been sending me, I can only hear birds. And of course your voice.
I have seen, I'm not joking, okay, outside my window, on this street, I have seen 12 different species of birds. 12.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really incredible.
That's amazing.
Someone saying Don't Cha by Pussycat Dolls. Wait, this must be somebody who knows me, okay?
Wow, please do. +1.
Oh God, fine. You forced me. Okay, how do you remember the words? I know you like it. I know you do. But whenever I come around, chicken over you. I can't remember the words. Let's keep it friendly. You have to play fair. And I don't care, 'cause I know she ain't the one to share. Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was a queen like me? Don't you? I totally made up my own words. What?
Somebody just mentioned that his girlfriend was exactly like you. So this is justice to that comment. That's it.
Anyway.
It was lovely having you.
Same.
Thank you so much for being
Thank you. I had such a fun time.
Same here.
Thank you. Have a good one. Mwah. Bye.
You too. Bye.